tonight? Hey, I see the hearts. Come on now. Get ready. Hey, Marcus. How are you? Miss Swat. How are you? Miss Swat. How are you, my love? Come on. Oh, why is this lagging over here? I was on mute. Hi, Katrina. How are you, my love? I got to get this thing together. I got to figure out why. Why am I hearing the echo? Katrina, are you hearing the echo on your end on YouTube? Okay, we got to get this together. TikTok, are y'all hearing a lag or an echo? Maybe because I'm playing music at the same time. Mhm. You can hear an echo? Okay, give me 1 second. Let me try to fix it. Okay, let's see. Mm. Oh, why is it doing that? Hmm. How do I move this? Oh, maybe it's that. A little echo. Katrina, let me know if there's an echo now. Um, is the delay? Okay, let me know. Let me know if I fixed it. I tried to do something to fix it. You good? It's good now? Okay. I think it's because I had you may have to go out and come back in. Is it still doing it? Is it still echoing? I think it's because I'm streaming on different platforms and they all were active. It's good now. Okay. I think it was because my Instagram was open. Maybe I need to open it on a different on my laptop, but it's not that important because I rarely go live on Instagram, so it's okay. No echo now. It's okay. I think it was because my Instagram was open and it brought it up at the same time, so it's good now. How y'all doing? Hey, hey, hey! Happy Saturday. How y'all doing? How was your day? Lucid, thank you so much for the follow. I see you. How was your day? How was your day? This is gonna be a powerful live. Echo, stop music. Echo, stop music. Okay, we don't want to listen to Echo right now. I do want to finish listening to this though. Set the vibes. How y'all doing? How's your Friday? How well Saturday. It's Saturday now. I'm tripping. It's Saturday. Happy Saturday, good people. Happy Saturday. How is yeah, no echo now? Okay, thank you, Katrina. Thank you all who helped me out. Are y'all ready for this evening's masterclass? Listen, it's gonna be informative. It really is. I'm always excited about the master classes, but this one I'm especially excited about because it's I mean everything impacts us. Everything impacts us, right? And so listen, let me just pause for 1 second, okay? I'm just gonna welcome everyone, okay? So, hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Peace, peace, peace to all the beautiful souls, to all the gods and goddesses. For those of you who do not know me yet, my name is Venus the Goddess. I'm a self-mastery mentor and solutionist. I've been in my craft practice, in my practice, in my skill for 15 plus years now, and have helped perhaps over perhaps thousands of men and women how to master themselves, therefore mastering their reality. And this evening's masterclass is going to be informing you, reminding you, giving you some invaluable information regarding your sensuality and sexuality. Because a lot of us have been misled and misguided. And so this evening's masterclass is going to be absolutely amazing. I give honor, I give praise to the infinite source of creation. I give honor and praise to our ancestors. May they continually cover us, guide us, and speak through me, right, for this live. Um, so now that we got that out the way, if you want to, you can hop on over to the YouTube where you can actually view the presentation. You're more than welcome to stay here in TikTok land if you want to. If you want to actually see the presentation, you can hop on over here to YouTube. And if you do so, just make sure you just put a hey, hey, hey in the comments so I can see the interactive. This is the new platform that I'm streaming off of. So bear with me while I navigate through this, but it's not going to stop me from bringing y'all the information. So how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How's y'all Saturday? Thank you so much as you come in. Michelle, thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. As you come in, make sure you subscribe, okay? Comment, share. I like engaging with you. This is not a monologue. This is a dialogue. No dictatorship, right? I am you. You are me. We are us. And when we elevate and we strengthen our power as one. Ashe? Um, and so we're going to be getting started real soon. Thank you so much for the follow, Deb. I appreciate you. Thank you so very much. I hope all of y'all Saturday is going well so far. We're about to get into this. It's going to be good. It's going to be real informative. Okay, okay. I forgot. This is coming back to me. Make sure as you come in, and TikTok land, my TikTok gods and goddesses, make sure you do follow me. It's that little symbol near my name. Make sure you get to follow. You will not regret it. Regret it because on this side of the TikTok, well, we masculine self, right? My family. Okay, there's no witchcraft. There's no mess going on here. Um, Baby, if you knew what I knew, if you knew what I knew, honey, you stop seeing life like it's a game. Okay, so we're gonna definitely get into it. Chrissy, how are you, my love? We're gonna get into it. Okay, 'cause I know you are gonna let me stop this music so we can get it on. Okay, from okay, so I like to start off with questions, right? We're going to be talking about we're going to be talking about sensuality and sexuality. From a show of hands in the comments, how many of you were at or when is the last time? Well, two-part question. How many of you were actually taught, right, about your sensuality and your sexuality? Because they are two different things. Even though they intertwine, they are two different things, right? How many of you have been taught growing up about your sensuality? Melly, thank you so much for your transparent honesty. I love it, Melly. See, we starting off correct. This is how we elevate, right? It's important. The very first key, numero uno in mastering self is to be transparently honest with yourself. And I thank you for doing that here on the live. I appreciate you for doing that. So I get a never. Come on, there's more of you in here. How many of you have been educated on your sensuality and your sexuality, right? And properly educated, not just through looking at music, not, I mean, looking at videos, not just through, sporadic little tips and tricks that our parents gave us. Me, Michelle, okay. Taught, yes. Okay. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see that. I see the answers coming up. Thank you so much for being honest. I raised both of my hands. I was not properly educated about sex and sensuality. I was not. Many of us, men and women, all my friends and associates who I grew up with, we wasn't properly educated. I grew up in the projects in Brooklyn, New York. So we wasn't, a lot of our parents, like I said, just didn't know the things that they didn't know. Does that mean that it did not affect us in ways that were hurtful to us? Absolutely not. Remember what I always say, the universe responds to frequency. The universe language is frequency. God's language is frequency, right? Over here on this side of the streets, we give you the science and the psychology behind who you are, why you do what you do, so you can then begin to understand the why you do what you do, right? So you can begin to break generational behavior patterns, right? Going a little deeper, generational, curses. PJs in the Bronx. Okay. I just realized there's a difference. Yes, thank you so much. Afron. How do you pronounce that? Afronician. I like that name. That's really beautiful. That is really beautiful. Right. So we wasn't properly taught about sensuality. We wasn't properly taught and educated on sexuality. Right. And so a lot of us, we learned the hard way. Right. We learned by participating way too soon. Right. And taking it back to, no one can violate universal laws. And one of the laws I'm specifically bringing up is the law of cause and effect. The universe does not favor sex, gender. It does not favor your status in life. The universe does not favor and play no favors on who you are. It plays no favors. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your gender, your status. It doesn't matter how much money you have in the bank. It doesn't matter who your parents were. It doesn't matter. Everything you do, there is going to be an effect. For every cause, there is an effect. It doesn't matter whether you know or not, you understand or don't. So at our mature age, many of us have circled around the sun, right? Some of y'all call that birthdays. Okay. You only technically have one birthday. You can celebrate it, but understanding these things play a huge part on why your perception is the way it is. Hence, why you keep attracting certain things into your life. This is why these things are important. So, unlikely created, how are you? Welcome in. So, welcome in. This is going to be a phenomenal live. This is why it's important. So, many of us have circled around the sun, right? So, we are mature in age. However, we lack understanding about a lot of different topics that affect us on a day-to-day basis. And so I am here to help guide us into understanding right information, righteous information, right? Because a lot of us, especially because we're moving into a new sun cycle, right? New Year's starts in March. So those of you who doesn't understand that or does not know, we are not in New Year's yet. New Year's, the new sun cycle, the new life cycle of this planet starts in March. So we still have time. So as we move into this new sun cycle, I want to make sure that you have fundamental principles in so you can position yourself to attract the life that you want. Because what's the number one topic that everybody is speaking about when New Year's come around, right? New Year's resolutions, right? Katrina, thank you so much for responding. I see it. What's the thing, right? where we've been told everybody's making New Year's resolutions, everybody, and rightfully so. You should be resetting your life. You should be reassessing your life. Where do you want to go in life? Where are you going in life based upon what you've been doing, the things that you want different? What more do you want? Do you want more love? Do you want more healthy dynamics? Do you want to forge more healthy relationships? Not only romantic relationships, but platonic relationships, friendships. Do you want more money, right? Do you want a bigger home or a smaller home? Do you want more peace? Do you want more joy? You understand, self mastery, mastering self, is at the core of everything you want, need, and or desire. And until we realize that there's no skipping steps, no skipping steps, we're going to keep repeating unhealthy behaviors. We're going to keep getting the same results, right? We're going to keep running on this hamster wheel we call going somewhere, going nowhere real fast, right? And so it's absolutely imperative that you start to take time for yourself to educate yourself. It's not that you don't have to even become a philosopher in all of these different things. However, you do need to become a philosopher of you. You do need to become a philosopher of what makes you unique. Who are you? A lot of us don't even have the core fundamental of a core fundamental knowledge of who we are in our essence as triune beings, right? A lot of us are heavily engulfed in our physical side, right? Everything is physical. And when you're living so much in the physical, you cannot ascend. You cannot ascend. Stagnation is real. Yes, it absolutely is. Stagnation is real. How many of us is like, we're beyond sick and tired of being in the same place? Being in the same place, is it fun? Yes or no? How many of us are just exhausted and overwhelmed with people in life, not life, people in life? Right? Thank you for your honesty, Melly. I see you, right? How many of us are overwhelmed with going to a job or a workplace that brings us no joy? How many of us are even tired of bitching, moaning, and complaining, fussing, right? How many of us are tired of attracting people in our life that only drags us down? Right? How many of us are overwhelmed and overworked being a mother, being a father, being a sister, being a wife, being a husband, being a friend, right? Being a CEO, right? How many of us are exhausted and overwhelmed? How many of us are depressed? How many of us are right on that bridge ready to unalive ourselves, literally or figuratively? Many of us, many of us. I was there. Not once, but twice. Not once, but twice. Twice, right? I actually attempted to. It wasn't my time, but that's another story for another masterclass, right? So we're going to be discussing. So put a one in the comment section if you understand what I'm saying. So far, is it hitting, right? Is it hitting or no? Is it hitting or no? Right? Because we have to understand this. I get tired and frustrated of people trying to use people pretending to love you. Ashe, Gwen, Ashe. Thank you for sharing. Ashe, exhausted, tired of battling the system of this world. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. 111. Right? And how many, I see all the ones. Me too. How many of you are ready to even invest 15 minutes of your day in changing that? Because that's the real question, right? We know what we're experiencing. We know about all of the systems, the government systems that has been created that was never for us. We know about politics. We know about systemic racism. We know about colorism. We know about the gender wars, right? We know about all of these things, but how many of us are actually ready to make a step forward? Raise your hand. Put a one in the comments if you're ready. I mean, I know you're ready. I just want to reassure that you're ready, right? Thank you so much for the follow, right? The reason you're here shows me you're ready because I know many things. And one of those things that I know is that I see the ones coming up. Thank you so much for participating. I love it. I love it. I love it. I only attract individuals who vibrate on my frequency. Whether you the duration of the duration of you vibrating on a like frequency, now that's going to be determined by you. We only attract according to our vibration. So the fact that you are here alone lets me know that you want to change. You want better. It's just many of us want something, but we don't necessarily know the how to, right? In the age we're not only in the age of Aquarius where the veil has been lifted, we're also still in the age of confusion, of information overload. There's so many distractions that is pulling your attractions to you that don't serve you no purpose. We know these things, right? And so it's important to be aware. Remember, the 7 keys to self mastery is awareness, acknowledge, right? Acknowledgement, accountability, acceptance, assess, acquire the information, and apply, right? So we have to understand that. And this is how you take that step. This is the first step. So we're going to get into, because a lot of us are, and I've been waiting to do this particular master class for a minute. A lot of us are engaging in sexual activities. A lot of us have engaged in sexual activities, right? And side note, I'm just going to give this little tip before I even get to it. Just because you are celibate does not mean that you are not still affected by the sexual partners you've been with in the past. Keep that in mind as we move through this masterclass. I want this is very important for us to understand. Extremely important for us to understand. So let's get to it. Why is understanding about your sensuality and sexuality so important? Peace, life coach. How are you? Uniquely Civi, how are you, my love? Welcome, my loves, for coming in. If I don't acknowledge you right off the bat, forgive me. Please forgive me. Charge it to my attention, because I'm on 2 platforms right now, on 2 different devices. So welcome in, my loves. As you come in, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is absolutely free, right? Because enough is enough. You do not want to move into this new beautiful sun cycle that has so many profound blessings for you, so many profound opportunities for you, because a lot of us are going to miss it. Don't be that one. Right? And so make sure you hit that follow, like, and share. And the more you tap, the more you comment. Let's TikTok know that this is a positive live stream. So let's do our due diligence, and it's free. Tapping is free, sharing the live is free, whether they come or not. Just help me help you. Thank you so much. I appreciate, right? So, understanding the 2 energies. Why is understanding sex so important? Why is understanding your sexuality and your sensuality so imperative? Because primary reason, everything is energy. You are energy. Everything is infinite energy. And when you do not understand the concepts fundamentally what energy is, you make yourself susceptible to being manipulated to those who are constantly after you. Make no mistake, there are thousands upon thousands of people who are manipulating you in an unrighteous way every single day. And so it's time to arm yourself. Knowledge is power. However, it only becomes powerful when you actually apply it. How can you apply something that you do not have? And so this is why I'm very passionate about teaching the core, the catalyst to who you are and why you do the things that you don't do, so you can be powerful. Knowledge is power, but it only becomes powerful when you actually apply it. Right. And so I'm teaching you how to master yourself so you can stop being mastered by other people, places, and things. And make no mistake, you can even be mastered by your lower self. The name of life game is to ascension. And as we're moving into this great shift, we some of us are ascending. You do not want to get stuck below the equator on this. You just don't, my loves. You just really don't. So what we're going to go over in this masterclass, these are the things that you're going to understand by the time you finish this, by the time we're done with this masterclass, and we're going to have a Q&A at the end. We're going to cover your sensuality and your sexuality. Break that down. We're going to be covering the shaping of your sensuality and your sexuality. Why do you have the perspective that you have regarding sex and sensuality, your sexuality and sensuality? We're going to be speaking about sexual transmutation, which is sexual energy, right? This is important for you to understand, because a lot of y'all cannot attract who and what you desire because you are not vibrating on a certain frequency to allow you to do that. And one of these things that is keeping you bound, keeping you stuck is, right, all of the mixy energy you still have in you. That's right. Joey, Tommy, Derek, Joe, Melissa, Sandy, Susan, Tasha, Renee, Rashonda, right? Jim, Jimmy, Tom, right? Some of them people still up in you. Some of the people are still affecting your mental, your psyche. Okay, so we're going to get into, and then we're going to cover practical application. Thank you so much for the gifts, my love, right? And so if you have any questions, make sure you write them down. Shot of Brandy, how are you, my love? Peace, peace, peace to you, queen. Peace to you, queen. Right? And so let's get into it. So what is sensuality? What is sensuality? Let's go over that. Put in a cat. What do you think sensual? When you hear sensuality, what do you mean, right? Because just like I said, a lot of us are living in the physical world. We see physical. All we see physical. We think sensuality. We think big boobs. We think big breasts. We think big phallus. We think, the all of the physical attributes of it, right? Energy, right? Delightful is the sight of her, radiant with shining beauty. That's very sweet. The five senses. Who is that? I love that response. I'm not interpreting your name, but I do love, I love your response. You have some symbols that'll let you know. You have some symbols over your name, which I do love, because I see they are our ancestral symbols. New here is Kwa. Did I pronounce that right? Kwa. I love that. Well, welcome, Kwa. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Kwa, Quay. Okay, I love it. Well, welcome, Quay. It's good to have you with us. Good to have you a part of the Moss family, Masters of Self, because that's what we're doing over here. I don't know, laugh out loud. I'm not even going to lie. I have no clue. I love that. And this is why I'm here. A lot of these things that I'm going to say is not really new. I'm just reminding you. Remember, we are reflections of each other. I'm just reminding you of you. I am you, reminding you. I am your higher self, reminding you of not only who you are, but things that you need to understand if you planning on ascending. And there's not a lot of discussions and teachings around ascension. There's not a lot of discussions and teaching about divine, infinite spirituality, right? We hear we hear external things about it, right? But there's a lot of pushing about. I ain't even going to say that. We have a lot of people pushing dating. There's a lot of people talking about dating. There's a lot of people talking about how to get a man, how to get a woman, how to attract a man, how to attract a woman. There's a lot of people teaching on how to manipulate unrighteously men and women. There's a lot of people speaking about, just getting to the bag, just getting to the bag. There's a lot of distractions out there, right? But a lot of that is hurting us. There are others like me who is teaching the same thing. It's just up to you to actually sit yourself down. Spiritual energy creation. Yes, Imperia. I like that name. So this is absolutely important. So sensuality, right? Have you ever asked yourself, what does it mean? What does being sensual is? Because remember, everything is energy. Everything is infinite. There's infinite energy. There's infinite you, right? Multi-realities. The universe is infinite. Everything is infinite. So have you ever asked yourself, what does sensuality actually mean to you, right? What does it mean to you? right? Sensuality, like someone mentioned in the comments, it is about engaging your senses. Sensuality have nothing to do with the physical aspect of sex. It does not. And not understanding this has caused a lot of us to not only misinterpret on how to use this energy in a righteous way, right? And just because you lack knowledge of something doesn't mean that you're going to be spared from the consequences of your actions. This is what I need for us to understand. Just because you are unaware or lack knowledge of something does not mean that it still isn't going to affect you. What you don't know has been, is, and will continue to hurt you. What you don't know won't hurt you. That is a lie, a lie, a lie, a lie. And I need y'all to understand that. I need y'all to know that it is important. Your sensuality is all about your five senses, which means it's all about your lower nature, not low meaning unrighteous, but it is still a part of your lower nature. It is a part of the physical aspect of you. We are part spirit, soul, part physical, and part mental, right? It is about taste, touch, hearing, smelling, and enjoying this experience of them. A lot of us are engaged in our sensual essence, our sensuality, and don't and aren't even aware of it. A lot of us engage our sensuality when we eat food, right? When we eat food. A lot of us engage in our sensuality when we are smelling certain aromas, right? This is also about that. This is those things are also have a lot to do with how you are expressing your sensuality with your senses, right? But a lot of us get that confused. Many of us have no clue on even how to experience our sensuality, experience these senses on a higher level because we've been programmed to only think in our lower nature. Many of us have been programmed to think and act sexually, dogmatic per se, right? And that information is hurting us. Sensuality is the enjoyment of these senses, the enjoyment of these senses through pleasurable experiences such as taste, touch, sight, smell, and hearing, which is also a part of nature. Unlike sexuality, which refers to a person's sexual orientation, their behaviors, and their desires. Very, very different. The two are different. Even though they are intertwined with each other, they are interchangeable, mind, body, and soul. Yes, right. But they are very, very different. Do y'all understand what I'm saying now? Sexuality and sensuality is very different, and you need to understand the two. Main reason so you can stop being easily manipulated by other people, right? A lot of us have been easily manipulated into doing things that we did not want to do, right? Or doing things prematurely, which affects us still in many ways, right? So understand this. Thank you, Shot of Brandy. I appreciate it, right? So welcome in, welcome in. So let's go a little bit, let's go a little bit deeper into this, right? Our divine sensuality is one of our most beautiful aspects of our femininity and masculinity. A part of us related to our five senses, as I said, right? As well as our spirituality. Your sensuality and sexuality is a part of your spirituality, which a lot of us, right, are still here below our lower nature because we don't understand how they are intertwined and how they are attached with one another. And then some of us wonder why we're spiritually weak, right? Because you're misusing your energies. It is time out. It is so time out for us to continually act like we are deaf, dumb, and blind, and that we don't want better for ourselves. It is high time that we start taking responsibility and accountability for who we are as divine beings. You cannot just simply just call yourself, which you are, a god or a goddess, a king and queen, a divine being, without knowing who you are, without being accountable for that. And then you hear so many narratives being pushed, especially to my women, to my beautiful goddesses, about how to live a soft life. Soft life is weak life. This is what they're implying. Soft life is lazy life. Being a divine feminine requires work. It doesn't have to be hard work. It doesn't have to be physically straining. However, it is work. Do you understand how hard and how much effort that Mother Nature puts in to do what she does to nourish the planet, to nourish us? Do you understand that? Right? It's time out for us to stop playing. It's time out with us playing with our lives. So many of us are unaliving ourselves, being unalive prematurely. And I understand that everything happens for divine reason, but there are a lot of us who are prematurely transitioning. Prematurely, when I say transition, I mean returning back home. Because you can prematurely return back to home because you do not understand that because of who you were never created to mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, energetically endure immense amounts of pressure. You were not created to carry the world on your back. You were never created to be psychologically distorted. You were never created to be inferior to no one. You were never created to experience such pressures. Peace, bro. How are you, love? Peace, purpose, right? And so for that reason and many other reasons, a lot of us, your souls are choosing to eject from your avatar, from your body, because you are choosing not to elevate. You're choosing not to expand. One of your primary functions and primary purposes as a living, breathing, beautiful, infinite being, as a living organism, is to expand, is to grow, is to evolve, is to elevate. And whenever you're not doing it as a being, you are what? Self-destructing. Just look at the receipts of our lives. A lot of us are self-destructing. Don't you want to understand how not to continually self-destruct? Whether you're honest with yourself or not. When you are vibrating below your highest self, vibrational plate, frequency wise, guess what? You are self-destructing. This is why I teach self-mastery. This is why a lot of y'all need to take a break. If you are single, you need to be single with intentional purpose to learn how to master yourself. We are not living in a day and time where you need to be focusing on how to use a man, manipulate a man, how to use a woman, manipulate a woman, how to attract a quote unquote high value earning man or woman. You should not be engaging yourself with those things because you are self-destructing right now. You need to get what you need to replenish yourself to understand these things. Back to sensuality. A part of us relating to our five senses as well as our spirituality with limitless amounts of ways in which we can express it with our significant partners, with ourselves, with our spouses, with our lovers, even those of whom we have no sexual desire for. Why? Because a woman's and a man's sensuality has more to do with our bodies, our sensory pleasures, more than it have to do with our physical pleasures, right? Being physical, being sexual. A lot of us are being sexual with partners, and you can still be in a relationship. This applies to people who are in monogamous relationships. This applies to people who are even married. You can still be ignorant and misusing your sexual energy. You can still be affected. So it really doesn't matter if you're just out there willy nilly and just hopscotching on penis, right? Or hopscotching in and out vagina. Even if it's the same, you can still be affected. Understand that this new sun cycle that we're entering, baby, if you don't get your ish together, you are going to suffer severe consequences. I'm telling you this as a warning, a righteous warning, not to put fear into you, but to let you understand the severity of the actions you keep choosing to make on a daily basis. A lot of us are continually repeating behaviors that are not becoming of a god or goddess, a king or queen, because the consequences aren't as great as they should be. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? The time is now, right? Some of the ways where you can actually engage, right? Some of the ways in which you can actually righteously manipulate, justly manipulate your sensuality, your sensual energy. Taking a bath, that's a great example. You can be watching a beautiful sunset. Anytime you are doing certain things, you are engaging, that brings you pleasure, that releases oxytocin into your bodies. You are experiencing your sensuality, but a lot of you aren't aware of it. So you are not maximizing the potential energy that you have, that you can also use to create, to attract. Our ancestors was not just haphazardly banging each other all day, every day, or once a week, or once a month, or once a year. They understood the sacred practices of sexual transmutation of energies. Do y'all understand how a lot of your sexual acts that you are engaging in is hurting you? Even on the flip side of that, being celibate ain't no flex either. When I hear women say, "Oh, I've been celibate," whether or not they actually telling the truth, right? That's not a flex. If you understood the power in sexual transmuted energy, okay, you would be doing more to get yourself in alignment mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, right? Energetically, so you can attract the divine dominant opposite. Okay. So I want us to understand these things. Taking a beautiful walk in nature, also engaging with your sensual energy. Energy that you can be using to attract certain things, to pull certain things to you that you want. Having a quiet dinner in a special place, right? Romantic dinners, lighting candles around you, alluring yourself, adorning yourself with your favorite perfumes, right? Nature, botanicals, flowers, all of these things are ways in which you are engaging unknowingly and knowingly with your sensual energy and your essence, right? Karma, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, my loves. Make sure y'all keep tapping that screen. I appreciate y'all. Let's do it, right? Y'all understand? Y'all understand what I'm dropping? Y'all understand? It is important. And you can do it without laying down too quickly. You can. You absolutely can, D. Right? And so understand that saying you single and you celibate and like are you single by choice or are you single because of fear? And if you're transparently honest with yourself, a lot of us are single by choice too, but the choice is out of fear. The choices are out of disappointment. The choices are because of discouragement, right? That's not a flex. The best thing you can do is be transparently honest with yourself, right? But you become what you consume. And a lot of our issues are we consuming a lot of toxicity. We're consuming a lot of garbage and we wonder why things aren't changing in our life. Everything, every time you transmute energy affects you. How? What do you mean by transmute energy? Every time you have a thought, even if it's a recurrent thought, every time you speak, every time you do, every time you act, it's a transmuting of energies. What are you transmuting, and what are you allowing to transmute into you? What are you consuming? So when you're sitting here most of your days on TikTok listening to women and men teach you and subconsciously program you into thinking that there are no good men, no good women, that men aren't capable of love or women aren't capable of love, you are destroying yourself. I need you to understand that. You are affecting your own life. You become what you consume, which is why, like I said in the beginning, a lot of us are below 6 feet deep without understanding. And it's hurting us in more ways than not. Understand that you are so powerful, you can create your own reality. You have to understand what helps to shape your reality, what's creating your reality. Understanding the process, right? Your thoughts influence your feelings influence your emotions influence your actions, and your actions is what influences, dictates your reality. Hence, what you pull, what you consume becomes a magnet. And the more you feed yourself these things, the more you feed yourself of these toxic energies, the more you feed yourself of hate, the more you feed yourself of even love, the more you feed yourself of discouragement and contempt, right? The more you feed yourself of misandry or misogynistic energies, guess what? You are strengthening your magnet to that. What you feed will gain power, and what you starve will lose its power. We're feeding the wrong things, people and places in our lives, especially when it comes to feeding your sexual desires, your sexual energies, right? And it's really tormenting a lot of us. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So, what the influences that shape your sensuality, right? These are the influences. I'm going to get into speaking some of the influences that have been shaping your perception is everything, because how you perceive a thing is how you're not only going to visualize a thing, it's not only going to determine how you audibly hear a thing, it's going to influence how you see a thing, is going to influence how you act upon a thing. Your perception plays a huge part in what and who you attract, also plays a huge part in how you behave. Your sensuality is influenced and was influenced by your genetics, your learned behaviors, your social influences, right? Your learned perspectives. Your sensuality has also been influenced and is still being influenced by rejections. Every one of us here have been rejected from time to time. Yes, that rejection or the multitude of rejections that you have also help to shape your perception and your perspective of your sensuality, as well as sexuality. We're going to get into that too. The loss of loved ones can affect your sensuality, your sensual energy. Bad modeling, bad representatives, right, in your family or outside of your family. Religious suppressions also help to shape, right? Right? Because what were many of us taught, especially in the religious sector, right? Sex is shameful unless you're married, right? Certain sexual explorations are shameful and sinful, right? So a lot of us have been taught that our sensuality is something wicked, it's something dark, it's something hateful, it's something unrighteous. So not true. And that's one of the things that's also been a part of our self-destruction, because we have over time learned and have accepted these misnomers, these notions that your sensuality is something wicked and it's not something to honor, that is not something to actually develop, right? And it's not. Childhood sexual traumas also help to shape how you perceive your sensuality, right? And so many things. These are just some of the filters that can further limit our creative possibilities. And remember, everything is energy. Your sensuality and your sexuality is a creative energy, which is why many of our ancestors, right? And some of them, some of our our mature adults, right, who came from those righteous practices, they understood how sensuality and sexuality was sacred. They understood that it was a sacred, powerful energy that can transmute and manifest, attract certain things from the quantum realm, and turn it into matter in this realm, right? You understand? As well as our fluidity of self-fulfilling sensual connections with self or with others in very healthy ways. We have to understand this, right? Now we're about to get into sexuality. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Peace to all of those who are just joining me. Let's take a quick little break. For those of you who are just coming in, welcome. And we're family now because you hear my name is Venus, a goddess, and I am a self-mastery mentor. I teach all things self-mastery so you can master yourself and master your reality so you can influence, so we can begin changing the trajectory and the dynamics of the generations to come. It all starts with us. If you actually want to see the presentation that I'm presenting, you can hop on over to my YouTube channel, which is called All Things Self Mastery. Mo, thank you so much for the roses, my love. Or you can stay here. It's your choice. I just wanted to make you aware of that before we move on. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help us, help me, help us. We should be helping each other, supporting more positive people and things and endeavors in this world. Okay. And so I am doing this for us. So help me, help you. Let's help us. Make sure at some point that you subscribe to my YouTube. It is absolutely free. Help me grow the platform. Make sure you, as you come in on TikTok, my TikTok gods and goddesses, make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you continually tap the screen. We should be at more than 12.4 likes right now. So let's run them hearts up real quick, my loves. Let's run them hearts up. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Let TikTok know that we getting it in over here, okay? People need to hear this info. And as always, you are more than welcome to gift. If you're feeling generous, you are more than welcome to send gifts. Send gifts to support my endeavors and reaching as many people as I do. Okay, enough of the intermission. Thank you so much. I see y'all happy fingers. Okay, I see the happy fingers rolling. Thank you so much. So let's get right back into the lesson. This evening's masterclass, we're teaching about the understanding your sensuality and sexuality. And I give these lives, these free masterclasses every Saturday, unless I notify you and let you know that it's canceled for that particular week. But typically you can find me live every Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, teaching on a lot of topics that is always going to help you master self and master your reality so you can actually change the trajectory of your life. Mo, thank you so much for the follow, right? And so when we get into let's get into like sexuality, right? It's gonna get good, right? It's getting good. Okay. Tell me, have you ever asked yourself, what does sexuality mean to you? Now, remember in the beginning, thank you so much for the gift, my love. Remember, in the beginning, many of us raised our hand and we said that we wasn't properly educated or taught about our sensuality or even our sexuality, right? How many of you have not been properly educated on your sexuality, right? I mean, a lot of us was programmed to think with a lot of us was programmed to think in a Eurocentric way regarding sexuality. It's bang, 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 and that's it. If you get yours, you get mine, and that's it. Or I get mine, and I don't care if you get yours, and that's it. It's all about the physical aspect of it. And that's just it. That's just it. How many of us? Is right. And so when we're speaking about sexuality, different from now, sensuality is dealing with our five senses. Thank you so much, Afro Sentient. Thank you so much, my love. So we're speaking about remember, it's different from what we spoke about regarding our sensuality, right? Which is dealing with our five senses. Right now, we're about to get into sexuality, right? And even though those things can work together in harmony, right? They are two entirely different separate two entirely separate things. They're very, very different. Mwah. Celeste, how are you, my love? Thank you so much for the hand heart. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And so sexuality is about sexual attraction, sexual activity. Is about the physical aspect of it, right? It's about the physical engagement, right? It's about the forging of it. It's about the act of it, right? Different from how we engage sensually. So sensuality is about engaging with our five senses, but the sexuality is about engaging physically. And so when you intertwine, or when you combine those two, then you bring into harmony what's supposed to be sacred, what's supposed to be sacred. So you're bringing together the sexual part and the physical part, excuse me, the physical part and the sensory part. And when you bring those things into harmony, you can really create some magical moments. Thank you so much for sharing the live, Celeste, right? But a lot of us are engaging, right, or using our sensuality and our sexuality, right, in the lowest vibrational form ever. One of the reasons, because that's what we were taught to do. We were taught that sex only meant to procreate, right? It is very different from the sensual taste, touch, sight, hearing, smelling. We were taught that it was only used for pleasure, our sexuality and our sexuality, not even including our sensuality, right? We were taught that it was only created and supposed to be acted upon to procreate, right? To bear children, right? For physical pleasure, right? Just the stimuli. That's it. Or in some cases, to control another person, which we're gonna get into that. That's a whole nother thing, boy. A lot of us are playing some dangerous games, and a lot of y'all favorite creators are supporting these supporting conversations and pushing rhetoric that is destroying you. If you think you're gonna continually play hopscotch on the penis, right? Or hopscotch in the yanni, and there's no consequences, there's no repercussions for it, right? You are sadly mistaken. There are so many things that are happening when you engage with people. There are so many things there are so many ways you are still being affected from past sexual partners that you have. When we're talking about ascending, when we're talking about ascension, when we're speaking about mastering self, when we're speaking about elevating, when we're speaking about growing, right? Expanding in any capacity, whether you call it ascension or not. Your your sexual activities have been, is, and will always play a part in who you're becoming, what you attract, and the behaviors that you are doing. They impact you in many ways. I always say, which we're going to get into a little later, right? Hear me and hear me well. Do not misunderstand what I'm saying. STDs are very real and very rampant. However, on the scale of how deeply it is impacting you, it is on the low side. There are spiritual things that you are engaging with that are dangerous, way more dangerous than a physical ailment that you attract. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you should be careless. I'm not saying that STDs you should not think of, because baby, I think there's like a new STD, 5, 10 more STDs that are being accumulated and added to the list on a daily damn basis. Yes, spiritually transmitted diseases, right? An STD, really, when you actually know what you're supposed to know, baby, that should be the least of your worries about what's about to happen to you. Yeah, I hope y'all understand that, right? Sex should not just be animalistic. It should not be animalistic. Your sexuality and sensuality should be primarily sacred, but we wasn't taught how sacred we were. We wasn't taught how sacred your yoni is, how powerful your yoni is, that it can either create or destroy. It can either be harmful or helpful. Men wasn't taught how sacred their phallus is, how powerful their phallus is. Yet on the surface level, we hear things like, oh, I snatched his soul, or I snatched her soul. Baby, you shouldn't be snatching anybody's anything. What you need to be snatching is accountability. What you need to be snatching is responsibility. What you need to be snatching is information. What you need to be snatching is your mind back. What you need to be snatching is your integrity back. What you need to be snatching is your power back. Running around here talking about I snatched his soul. Yeah, you snatched his soul, all right. Right? And now you going all types of fucking Looney Tune. All types of crazy. Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo for Cocoa dick. Cuckoo for Cocoa P. Cuckoo for Cocoa D. All types of loony. Because you don't understand universal principles and universal laws. It doesn't matter whether you educated or not, whether you know it or not. You and you alone are responsible for obtaining the information that you need regarding you. Because you are going to be the one that's affected by it. Haven't we learned that by now? Every decision you make, you're the one that is going to reap the effects of your decision. You're the one. Nobody else, really. You're the one that's going to do. You're the one. You're the one. And then we're consuming all of this foolishness. We're listening to Cardi B. And no shade to Cardi B, no shade to anyone that I mentioned. However, infinite facts is infinite facts. They are pushing an agenda to continually degrade, demean, and to cipher your powerful energy into entities that has always been out for you. No good. If you think you can continually listen to the music of Sexy Reds, the music of all of the entertainers, the music of what's the girl, the bend the knees girl, the knee girl. What's her name? What's the girl name? Y'all know who I'm Megan. If you continually listen to even the old schools, our Kims, and I love me some little Kim, right? If you listening to the Jay-Z's, if you listening to y'all know who I'm talking about, these low vibrational frequency, not only is they pushing this agenda, right, to completely keep you destitute, deaf, dumb, blind, and docile, you also need to understand that everything is cause and effect, and those things are also influencing your psyche, which in turn influencing your behaviors. Hence, why you keep attracting the same people, places, and things into your life. Understand me? Stop thinking that you could just jump in the pool and come out dry. That's the craziest ish I ever heard. The craziest. Oh, I can listen to this. I can listen to that. You can pop, lock, and drop it, drag it, snatch it, do whatever you want to do. Because it's going to snatch you, drag you, right? Right back. Right. And so we have to begin to take accountability and responsibility. And that starts with gaining the right information. When I say right, I mean righteous information. Start deprogramming, start reprogramming, because the programs that you're still running on, are faulty. Hi, my beautiful auntie. How are you? Love you. Right? The programs that you're running off are faulty. They have never been there to serve your higher purpose, never, and it's still destroying you. Why do you think that the music industry is so prominent the way it is? Certain artists is pushed right to the top the way it is. Why do you think that the TV programs are programmed the way they're programmed? All of these things, the elites who sit around in a circle, that's their agenda. And we just keep playing the fools, playing deaf, dumb, and blind, destroying ourselves, mutilating our bodies. It's sick. It is absolutely sick. So many of us are puppets. So many of us are puppets. And as soon as someone reflect the divine truth, the undesirable truth to you, you getting salty. Well, be salty. Be salty. Okay? Because too many of us been sucking on sugar for far too long, baby. Far too long. It's destroying us. A lot of these things are destroying us. A lot of these misnomers are destroying us. A lot of the things that we're consuming is destroying us. Do y'all understand that? I love you too, Auntie, right? In its most sacred form, your sensuality and your sexuality is used to master self. Do y'all understand? When I speak of self-mastery, for those of you who would need a better understanding of, when I say self-mastery, I mean mastering your mental, right? Elevating, taking control and understanding the inner workings of how your mind works, how your psyche works, because this is what is continually dictating your behaviors, which in turn dictates what you attract. Mastering your mental, mastering your spirituality, mastering your energy, mastering your physical aspect of yourself, coming into a deeper enlightenment, a deeper awareness, right? This is what I mean by mastering self. It doesn't, and it also doesn't, when you master self, it does not mean that you pass one level and you now have every tool that you ever need to continually advance through the infinite levels of life, because there's no 1 through 10. There are infinite levels within infinite levels, right? Infinite cycles within infinite cycles. Just as the seasons move in, through, and out of each other, so do you in your life. Mastering self, what I teach is giving you the tools and the information so you can navigate in, through, and out of your seasons of your life with ease. Because there are some of us who can stand in the midst of a storm still calm and patient and collected with ease. There's many of us who don't buckle at the sign of a thunder, at the sound of thunder. Mastering self doesn't mean that you're always going to make decisions that are going to be presumably beneficial to you in that moment. It doesn't mean that you're always going to make decisions that are going to cause you complete bliss. It doesn't mean that either. However, mastering self allows you to master your reality, take control of your reality, because a lot of you have limited mindsets, which means that you are going to be limited in what you can attract. people, places, and things. There is no difference from you and another person who is living the life that they perceive that it's abundant in all areas. There's no difference. There's not many differences, right? Your sensuality and sexuality is should be also primarily used to manifest. It's not just for your physical pleasure. It's not just for you porter for you to portal souls here. It's not just so you can be pleased. It's not so you can just do the pleasing. It's not just that, right? Your sexual energy, you understand that you also need to understand where the core of where your sensual and sexual energy comes from, right? Those of you who know about your energy centers, your chakras, right? You have your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, your heart chakra, your throat chakra, your third eye, right? Chakra, your crown chakra, and then you have your kai, which is your aura. We're going to speak more about this further in the masterclass. The root and core where your sexual and sensual energy lies is in your root chakra, your lower nature. Not lower meaning unrighteous or unjust. It just means it's your lower nature. It also means that your first chakra to your third chakra, you are operating in your lower nature. All of your sensual desires, your survival mentality, right? Your need to survive and to thrive, all of that sits in your root chakra. It's where you're grounded, right? And so you need to understand that many of you are sexually overactive or sexually underactive because your root chakra is either overactive or underactive and not in harmony. Do y'all do y'all understand what I'm saying? I know many of y'all heard about your chakras or energy centers. You need to know, self-mastery is also understanding about that too. It's in your pelvic area, right? This is where your sensuality is, your sexuality is, your urges. It is unbeneficial for you to thrive primarily in your lower nature. Ascension starts from your fourth chakra to your seventh chakra, right? Solar, heart, throat, crown, and kai, third eye crown, right? So on a deeper level, our divine sexuality is really beautiful, especially for the women, right? Because my message is primarily for the women. It's for us goddesses, right? Because when I tell you, we have the absolute power to change the trajectory of what's going on in this world. We have it. If more of us became aware of who we are, if more of us was intentional, right? About changing not only ourselves, elevating ourselves, right? Because when you elevate, when you learn for self-mastery and when you learn to master self, guess what? You raise your frequency, which means you're not only raising your frequency, you're also helping the universe to raise its frequency. You're also helping this planet that we on, mother planet, our mother planet, to raise its frequency. Energy makes an impact to energy. Energy influences energy. And since we are energy, the more powerful the energy source, the more dynamic the change. So if more of us women understand and know how to rise in our goddessship, hence rise of a goddess, when more of us rise as the goddesses we are and take responsibility and accountability, baby, we can change the trajectory in the dynamics, right? We can change that. And a lot of the gripes, many of the gripes and the complaints that many of us women are having with these men, baby, when I tell you they'll be swept away like it was never no sweeping, they will get into alignment. Men will get into alignment when you, goddess, get into alignment. There is no other choice. This is how powerful you are, which is also one of the reasons why, main reasons why you need to understand what your sensual energy is, how to use it in a righteous way, how to manipulate energy in a righteous way. Because if you prematurely, continually, or ignorantly, continually keep using these energies, baby, it's going to hurt you. And not only you, it's hurting us as a collective. And it's also hurting the generations to come. This is why our ancestors, our extraterrestrial ancestors, and Mother Nature is deciding to step in, because there's far too many of us who are willingly, continually choosing to be deaf, dumb, and blind. And you're causing further destruction. And many of us are going to be eliminated. I'm hear me, and hear me, and hear me. Many of you are going to be naturally selected for removal because you're choosing not to do better. No one is forcing you. No one forces you to do anything. One thing that is absolutely, that is an indisputable fact. No one can violate your free will. No one. No one. You have to willingly give consent for someone to impress and imprint upon you, whether it's imprint or impress upon your mind to influence your actions or verbally. And this consent doesn't always have to be signed verbally or physically through penmanship. Understand that. So when a lot of you saying, I didn't say yes. Oh, yes, you did, in more ways than you can. Your energy is also a way that you respond. This is what we need to understand. So back to sensuality and sexuality. Peace, love. How are you, hon? Clovis, how are you, love? On a deeper level, sexuality is also about the essence of a man and a woman, and also related to our biological nature. How we associate with our sexual orientation also plays a huge role within our identity. Do y'all understand that? How you perceive your sensuality and your sexuality is also how you perceive your identity. It ties into who you are. Y'all understand? Your sexuality is also linked to your sacral chakra. Remember the chakras that I spoke to, which is your second chakra, your first and second chakra, your energy center. Some philosophers call it the sex chakra. It controls how you behave concerning your sexuality and sensuality, with sensuality being closely related to a person's feelings, right? You have to have a clear and accurate understanding of things that matter to you, because it's affecting you in so many ways. Your sensuality and sexuality is a powerful tool that you can be using, instead of you allowing people to use it for you. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Right? Put a 1 in the chat if it's making sense. Put a 1 in the comments if it's making sense to you so far. Things that we wasn't taught growing up about our sensuality and sexuality. Right? I know I for sure didn't understand this, because I mean, there was a part in my life where it was okay I was taught to actually give a man this and he'll give me that. If you give him your most sacred yoni, he'll give you some love and give you an attention. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, all my friends was doing it too, right? Yes, yes, yes. I see the yeses coming up, right? We wasn't taught. However, as long as you are on this earth, as long as you are still on this planet, baby, you still have divine purposes, not just one purposes to fulfill. There's always an opportunity. There's always an opportunity, as long as you are an infinite soul. However, as long as you are here on this planet, in this realm, there is always an opportunity for you to choose to elevate and choose to expand and get your whole life together, right? Snatch your whole life back, right? So think about this. What if I told you that your sensuality is like a genie in a bottle? Like, just imagine this. Open your minds. Open your minds. I don't want y'all to have a closed minds. Open your minds, open your hearts to the information that I'm saying, because I know that a lot of you, some people, whether you're here, right, or whether you come in, some people will start to experience cognitive dissonance, because this is information that is not a program that's embedded in your database. So I understand that there's going to be some kind of mental push, right? Whether it's a good push or a bad push, conceptually, because those two words are subjective. But understand that I know what happens mentally whenever you are hearing information that is not a dominant program in you. Your mind mentally, the way it's organized and performs, it is naturally going to give a little bit of pushback. I get that. So I encourage you to have an open mind. This is where we get into deprogramming and reprogramming. Right? Stop believing the hype, baby. You can't stick your life in a microwave and it be done. Nuke your way into the reality that you want, into the more money you want. It don't work that way. Your mental database, which is your dominant frequencies, is determining what you attract, is determining the life that you're living. And if you want to move into this beautiful new sun cycle of eighth, understanding, wisdom, optimization, you have a profound opportunity to do so right now. Sexuality is dealing with the physical parts, the physical transmutation of energy. That's what on that side. Your sexuality, it deals with your preference, it deals with your identity. But your sexuality is at its core the physical aspects of who you are, also dealing with gender, right? So let's get further into it, right? What if I told you that your sexuality is like a genie in a bottle? Right, we've all seen Aladdin. We all know what a genie in a bottle is. We all know that, the genie gives three gifts. Any gifts that you ever want, anything that you ever want, genie in a bottle at your command, right? Would you continue to carelessly give your most precious energy away haphazardly if you knew how powerful your sexual energy is? If you knew how powerful your sensual energy is, would you just give it away? Right? Would you just haphazardly just keep giving it away, sharing it with just anybody, just because you think he or she cute, just because they tickle you in a certain way, right? Like you Elmo, like just want to be tickled, right? Would you just haphazardly just give that to someone who hasn't earned that type of gift, privilege, honor, who haven't showed you that they have the integrity, the respect, or the energetic fortitude to be able to engage with that type of power? Someone that is responsible. No, because this is what we're doing. Thank you so much for the follow, Summer. This is what we're doing. We're just haphazardly just giving it out like goddamn hotcakes. Like Oprah, you get it, you get it, you get the Yanni, you get the Yanni, you get the Yanni, you get it, you get it, you get the penis, you get the phallus, you get just, and we don't know what's going on. Would you carelessly just misplace it? Right? I mean, how many of y'all misplace y'all cars? How many of y'all don't care about where you park your car? How many of y'all care about where you place your keys? How many of y'all care about where you place your wallet? How many of y'all pay attention to where you place what you value? Because a lot of us are intentional about placement value more than we are thinking about how where we're placing our most invaluables, right? And we need to do better with that. Would you continually keep neglecting yourself? That's not what a wise person does. That's not what a goddess or God does. That's not what a intellectual, wise, accountable, responsible, honorable. That's not what people do. Would you allow it to overpower you or mislead you into darkness? Just willingly. Or would you just continue to act like it's just an ordinary thing? Right? Yeah, Yanni. I know there's this. I heard someone say this once. Someone said to a woman, right? Because I know a lot of us our perceptions of sex and our, invaluable Yanni, like our jewels, for lack of better words, our jewels is like it's so precious, is different. And I heard, which is very true, but I'm not concerned about that. I'm not bringing that up, which I vaguely remember. The point is coming to me that I heard the woman say that your vagina is no special than the next woman's vagina. Let me tell y'all ladies something, y'all divine goddesses something. You are not like the other. We are one with, yeah, we are connected, but don't let anybody tell you that your vagina is no better than the next woman. The first thing you need to know that all yanis and vaginas was created to be powerful. If you are a natural born woman, you're powerful. It is not for you to compare with one or the other. That was the disturbing part of it. First of all, we shouldn't be comparing your Yanni to another person's Yanni. That is a patriarchal tactic. That is a misogynistic tactic. We shouldn't be comparing ourselves to no one. Your Yanni is just as valuable and worthy and powerful, just as mine is. Y'all understand what I'm saying? There's no one greater than the other. So yes, and with all due respect and with all right, you are not like her in a big sense. So don't let nobody fool you and trick you into thinking one of the reasons why you have to continually act like you a damn clown jumping through hoops that you're not supposed to be jumping through is because there are 1,000 other vaginas that man can choose from, because yours is not nothing special, baby. Let him go play hopscotch over there. Let him go play hopscotch, ladies. Let him go. That mindset. Delete. Delete that mindset. Your Yanni, very powerful, very special, very special. And you need to understand that. You are not to compare it with your sister Yanni. Stop this foolishness. If that man or that woman is ignorant, wants to remain in their ignorance and think like that, baby, move away from them. There are men who are also, whether they know it or not, operating with self mastery, who are aware, who are intelligent, who are wise, who are compassionate, who are giving, who are responsible and accountable, who are sincere, who are honorable and have integrity, right? Who have intelligence. Stop consuming trash, my ladies. Please stop doing that. The energy of your sensuality and sexuality is extremely powerful. It can also be extremely dangerous if you continually use it unwisely, without discipline, without self control. Whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, whether you understand it or not, whether you accept it or not. Remember, the universe only responds to frequency. And no one can violate universal laws and principles. And one of those laws is energy transfer. One of those laws is cause and effect. One of those laws is attraction. You get what you give, not what you want. Do y'all understand that sexuality is also not about so much who you have sex with or how often you may or may not have sex? Sensuality, sexuality is more about energy. It's energy at its core, and you need to understand that, right? Sexual transmutation. Y'all still with me? Let me know if y'all still with me. Y'all tracking? Y'all tracking? Y'all tracking? Are we tracking? Let's take a little water. Speak, sis. Love it. Sharon, how are you? Yes, Queen 4424. How are you, my love? Right? Is the information helpful? I know it was very helpful for me. I've been studying and teaching what I'm teaching for 15 plus years. I know a little bit about a lot of stuff. I know a little bit about a lot of stuff, right? And so, okay, I just want to make sure tracking. Okay, Gavin. Hi, beautiful. How are you, my love? Yes, this help a guy. I get it. Okay, I see it. Thank you so much for responding. Very much so. Ashe. I'm 24. I'm 24. It's definitely changing my perspective. Ashe, Jupiter. Listen, baby, listen, I don't regret any of my experiences. However, one of my goals is really to attract the younger goddesses, baby, because if I had a meet in my life, things could have been different. Things could have, I want to not change my life. I want to make sure that I'm playing my part and I'm helping to educate our younger goddesses. Asheu, Auntie, Asheu. I want to really help educate and inspire our younger goddesses because they are coming up in an era not only of deeper enlightenment, the age of Aquarius, the age of information, the age of exposure, the age where everything is illuminated, right? Also, they're coming up in an age where there's so many dysfunctional, misguided misfits running around here, wreaking havoc on our younger goddesses and our younger empresses. And we have to play our part. We can't just keep talking about what they're doing, what they're not doing. We can't keep talking about why they're displaying certain behaviors, right? So what part are we playing in? I'm not crucifying. I don't crucify and I don't judge unrighteously, right? Like, but we're playing our part. So that should be one of our goals. Absolutely beautifully spoken, Queen. Peace, love, and light, power, and blessings. Ashe, upstate finest, right? And so let's move along. So now we're going to be speaking about sexual transmutation. This is what we need to understand about sexual transmutation, about sexual energy. How many of you have heard of, I want to ask this. How many of you have heard of the term sexual transmutation? How many of you have actually heard that term? It is a term, it is a philosophy, it is definitely a practice, like it is a scientific term. How many of you have actually heard that term before? Sexual transmutation. You have, Queen? Ashe. Right? Because I know before I heard it, I didn't hear it. Which it was intriguing. You know, like I'm a lover of information. I'm a lover. I've never heard it. Just never took it in. Okay, Ashe, I get it. I have. Okay, Auntie. Right. And so at a certain point in time, I didn't understand what it was. I know something was happening when it was happening. I know something was happening when we was doing the do, right? But I didn't have a full understanding of what was actually happening, right? And even though I didn't have a full understanding of this, it affected me in so many ways. So many ways it affected me into my teenage years, my young adult years. It affected me mentally, spiritually, emotionally, in so many ways because I was misusing my sexual energy. I was transmuting my sexual energy in ignorance. And guess what? We're going to pay for one way or the other. And so if I can reach one young empress, one mature empress, oh goddess, I'm grateful. Because like I said, if you still here, baby, you still have a divine purpose. The question is, what are you doing with it? Transfer of energies, yes. So sexual transmutation. This is when the sexual energy specifically is changed into forms, another form. Your sensual energy is a raw and dense form of energy that is produced and contained in the sex center of your being. This is a core aspect of who you are, male or female, woman or man, god or goddess, divine dominant feminine or divine dominant masculine. Sex transmutation is the process of channeling, hear me, sexual transmutation is the process of channeling the power of sexual energy into a creative and productive activities, which can which can which can and also lead to fulfilling experiences, the physical pleasures. But it's not the primary goal. It's not the primary function when you're exchanging sexual energies, when you're transmuting your sexual and sensual energy. Sexual energy is a powerful force that when and if you learn how to harness it and redirect it, it can fuel your creativity and your productivity in all areas of your life. Your sexual and sensual energy is perhaps one of the most creative, powerful tools, the most powerful, one of your powerful tools, inner tools that you have that you can use to create with, to manifest with, to attract with. This is why our ancestors coined it sacred sex, not casual sex, not meaningless sex, not physical sex, not dogmatic sex, sacred sex. And throughout the years, we have lost the sacredness of sex. We took the sacred out of sex. So now sex is harming us. Now sex is destroying us. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? It's affecting you in so many different ways, right? When you have a blocked energy center, right? Your sexual energy center, when it is blocked, when there is an excess or imbalance of your sexual energy, it can also cause things such as being overwhelming. It can cause you to be overwhelmed. It can cause chaotic emotions. It can cause strong sexual urges. It can cause you to be irresponsible with your behaviors. It can cause aggression. When you have an overactive sexual energy center, it can cause agitation. It can cause you to start to overthink yourself. It can cause an excessive amounts of cognitive dissonance. It can cause disproportionate reactions. It can cause hysteria. It can also make you susceptible to diseases within your body, diseases of your organs, sexual dysfunctions. Come on, it's time out to stop playing with your life. It is time out to stop playing with your life, baby. Life is not a game. You can play many games and you should play many games, but baby, your life should not be one of them. Your life should not be one of them. Understand that. Whenever you are sexually transmuting your energies, you are influencing your body, your mind, your soul on so many different ways. You are making yourself susceptible to be inhabited by entities and forces that were created to cipher your energy. And what happens when you have your energy ciphered from you? You become depleted. You become powerless. Do you understand what I'm saying? which is going to cause your defeat in the end. Yeah, our souls, yeah, we're infinite. Divine infinite energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It's just something that has been, is, and will always be. But baby, make no mistakes. This avatar, the avatar that you're in, the avatar that we're in, this phenomenal, beautiful vehicle, baby, it has an expiration date. So you can keep playing with it if you want to. Your engine is purpose. Your engine is purpose to stop running at a certain time that you do not know of. What did the book say? Man know neither the time or the day. It cannot always be night. So, like I said, y'all better get to work. I don't know the words to it, but that's a song that came in my mind. It cannot always be day. Something, something, something. Come on, let's get into it. Right? Sexual, let's still talking about sexual transmutation. Sexual energy needs to change forms in order to be refined, in order to be useful and beneficial to you. Right? It cannot be used for anything other than monetary pleasure or procreation until it's purified into a more reified and potent energy. One of the reasons why many of you are powerless, many of you cannot attract what you want to attract who you want to attract, is because you don't have available sensual and sexual energy that is pure enough to attract, that is pure enough to create and to harness. You're operating on an empty battery, my loves, and it's time to gas up. It's time to gas up. It's time to get the information you need. It's time to stop acting foolish and irresponsible and neglecting the most important person in the universe. You. It's time to stop. It's time to get yourself together. It's time to start taking responsibility for the way you're using your energy. If you want more, if you want better, if you want your New Year's resolutions to come to fruition, baby, being responsible and accountable for how you appropriate your sensual energy is at the start of that. It's also it plays a huge part in that, right? When you do this, when you repurify, redefine, refine your sensual energy, it becomes an inner force that you can direct at will for your purposes in a righteous way to serve you. Not only you, all those who you claim and supposed to love. Because don't you not only want better for yourself, you want better for your loved ones, right? Simply transmuting the sexual energy should not be the final goal in itself. The last piece of this esoteric and mysterious process is sublimating your energy. What do I mean? Or, in other words, continuing to channel it upward, up spiral along your energetic network to be to the superior levels of your being, which means higher chakra. Remember, your sexual energy, your sensual energy is in your first and second chakra, your energy center. The whole purpose of refining, realigning your energies is so it can be transmuted upwards up to your what? Your crown chakra. And it is going to enforce, influence, and strengthen your kai, your auric field, your aura. A lot of y'all are being targeted, and these arrows are hitting y'all because your auras are weak. And so everything is hitting you. Every arrow that is being thrown to you is hitting you in your core because your aura field is weak. It's penetrable, right? moving it up your kundalini, moving it up in an up spiral, not a down spiral. Serpent energy, right? Your serpent energy, your chi energy, supposed to move upward in the upward spiral. Okay? Illuminating not only your third eye, your crown chakra, but strengthening your aura. You can do that through your sexual energy. Learning how to transmute your sensual and sexual energy without having physical sex. This is, I know some of y'all heard the term, this is where we get into talking about, for men, semen retention, right? It's a powerful practice, which a lot of men are incapable of doing because they don't understand their sensuality and their sexuality and how to transmute their sensual and sexual energy. So this message applies to both men and women, right? And the upward spiral along your energetic network to superior levels of your being, aka your chakras. This is where the magic unfolds, beautiful people. Your life will start to become extraordinary right before your eyes, and you can actually, because you actually hold the key to changing your destiny when you understand your sensuality and your sexuality, right? Facts. What happens when you're sexually transmuting your energy with a partner? On a chemical level, some of us know that oxytocin is released, which is a hormone that is produced in the brain. Many of you know that we have what, like primary energies, oxytocin, adrenaline, cortisol, which is the one of the most dangerous energy. That's your fight or flight, your stress hormone, right? Right? Serotonin. These are, and so oxytocin is the chemical that is released in your body when you are sexually transmuting energies, sensually or sexually, with your five senses or with actual engagement. It opens the floodgates to these chemicals, which, if you lack understanding of what's going on in your body, you are not going to be able to control it, especially the effects of it, which is why a lot of y'all losing y'all God, y'all ever loving minds right now. A lot of y'all going for cocoa for Cocoa Puffs, Cocoa D, Cocoa P, right? A lot of us are losing our minds because you don't know what's going on in your body when this happens. So you are not in control. The goal is to get in control, get into control, involving the physical parts of you. It can also boost your emotions, right? Energy and motion, emotions, energy and motions, emotions, energy and motions. Control the flow of your emotions. You cannot do this if you lack understanding of what this energy is. Sensual and sexual energy is. Sex is supposed to be sacred. It is the sacred union between two individuals, not up for debate. The divine masculine and the divine feminine. It is more than just pleasure, more than just procreating. During sex, you are exchanging energies, spiritual energies, right? Your aura field, your energetic field that surrounds your body, that consists of several layers. Your emotional layer, right? Your mental layer, your astral layer. Like, how many of us are thinking like this? Whenever you're engaging in whenever you're engaging in sexual activities, sensual activities, you're being affected on an emotional level, a mental level, an astral level, right? An ethereal level, a celestial level, a spiritual level. But most of us only tend to think that it's just the physical aspects of it. And then when all hell break loose in your damn life, you don't know the first reason why. You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know where it's coming from because you don't understand what you're doing when you're being led by your lower nature just to have sex, just to do it. Now don't get it twisted, baby. Okay, listen, your sensual energy and engaging in sensual pleasures, baby, has a lot of great benefits. Many great benefits, right? But however, it's not worth continuing to misuse it, to just do it simply for pleasure. I'm guilty. What could one do? The Django. Yeah, listen, a lot of us are guilty of it, love. Well, I'm going to get into some of the ways where you can learn to be more responsible with your sensual and sexual energy, right? I don't want to give it away now. Just stick around. I'm a spread some. That was good. Ashe, my love. Thank you. And thank you so much for the follow, right? So let's get into additional facts for women, right? Seminal fluid in a man, which is a protein that's produced, are transferred when you're engaging with them. More so when you are having unprotected sex. Now, just because you are having protected sex does not mean that there's not a transfer of energies happening. That does not mean that, right? However, when you're having unprotected sex, understand that when you're exchanging fluids, when a man is exchanging his seminal fluids, which are his proteins, and transferring from him to you, it can and has altered your immune system. Mwah. Thank you so much for the flowers, my love. It alters your immune system. It alters your sleep. It alters your water balance, right? It alters your receptivity, your sexual receptivity. It alters your behaviors. So if you ever wonder why certain women go cuckoo for cocoa dick, this is his seminal fluid is the reason. And if you think you can just keep and nothing is happening, and you're not taking him on, you're not inviting him into you, it's not affecting you, baby, it's affecting you. It's affecting you in more ways than one. So when I hear women playing games, like acting like they tough, acting like they about that life, like I can just smash and I can just do, and baby, stop it. You ain't lying to nobody but yourself. And the only fool that's playing is you. Because if you understood what was happening on a deeper level, like I said, not only on an emotional level, not only on a mental level, but an astral level, an etheric level, a celestial level, and a spiritual level, baby, you will shut your mouth and flexing like you got some muscles. Because you don't know, and that all the different ways of how you are terrorizing your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit, and you wonder why when it's just you. You're crying when it's just you. Your depression kicks in into overdrive when it's just you. Your confusion kicks in into overdrive. Your complacency into overdrive, right? Self-doubt into overdrive. Cognitive dissonance into overdrive. Identity disassociation into overdrive. If you think you can just haphazardly keep sleeping with men, especially unprotected, because many of y'all are, many of us are, it is destroying you in so many different ways. If you think you can just get up and go about your business, just like the terminal illness cancer, baby, when it first attacks your body, it is it's silent. It is a silent killer, a silent killer, a silent destroyer. It ain't gonna rear its ugly head the first time, baby, but better believe it's forming its horns, it's forming its attachments, it's forming its strings. right? It's going to affect you in more ways than not. Stop playing with your life, my loves. Reclaim your power. Stand in your power and stop acting like you done lost your damn mind. Sex, sexual energy is an exchange that surpasses just the physical aspects. You're exchanging more than your bodily fluids, beautiful people. Yes, Queen, many of us had to learn it the hard way, baby. But I know I was there, honey. There's been plenty of times I've been cuckoo for Coco D. Okay, plenty of times. So I feel you, right? I'm the first one thing I am is transparently honest with myself, honey. I stopped lying to myself in that way a long time ago, because it just wasn't serving my purpose. It wasn't working, right? You're exchanging more than bodily fluids. You're exchanging emotions with that person. This is one of the another reason why it's so dangerous for you to be having sex with just anybody without having awareness, without having discipline, without having intelligence, without having wisdom, without having discernment, without having intuition. Because if you lack in making your decisions in any one of those areas and you just decide to sleep with this man, baby, know that you have pulled him into you and you into him, and now he is going to affect you in more ways than not. His emotional traumas becomes yours. His emotional unhealed wounds becomes yours. His emotional baggage and darkness becomes yours. His emotional confusion becomes yours. So if you wonder why you were stable mentally, if you were stable spiritually, if you were stable physically, and you was good, like you was happy, you was blissing, you was experiencing all of these serendipities, and all of a sudden you done let this man bamboozle you, swindle you into entering you, all because you've been fooled by his smile and you have not learned where he stands mentally, spiritually, anything, emotionally. Now he's up in you. Okay. Now guess who's going to bear the buck of his traumatic death? It gets deep. Beautiful souls, stop this. Y'all have to stop this. Y'all have to stop this. It's dangerous. When you engage with the assigned one, it is still considered the lower self. When you engage with the assigned one, is it still considered your lower self? Anytime you're engaging in sexual pleasures, transmuted sexual energy, you're in your lower nature. However, what I said earlier is that it doesn't mean that it's a harmful thing. If you have all of these understandings, if you have the wisdom, if you have the intelligence, if you have the discipline, if you have the know-how to transmute your energies, if you have the know-how to protect your energy while you're transmuting energies, it's not going to affect you. Just because it's in the lower nature doesn't mean that it's going to harm you. It can harm you if you lack any of the things that I said. Does that help you out, my love? So y'all have to understand this. Sexual transmuted energy affects you in more ways than just fluids being exchanged, right? Your traumas, whether you're healed or not, whether you're emotionally healed or not. Men, don't think you're excluded just because you are injecting her with your semen and seminal fluids doesn't mean that you're not floating around in her yoniverse either. You're floating around in her womb of water. Her waters. And sometimes the waters of a woman's womb is toxic, is also traumatized, is also traumatic and unhealing and distorted and murky. All women's waters ain't clean, baby, just like all women's semen ain't clean. Understand that it goes both ways. That's why it's called transmutation, because it happens both ways to both partners. And some of you still got Joey and Johnny and Vanessa and Derek and Dwayne and Melissa and say Susan and Karen up in you. Some of y'all still carrying another person's karmic debt because not only didn't you understand what was happening, what you were taking on outside of 3, 4, 5 minutes, maybe a half an hour on a good day, right? You didn't understand that you were also taking on their spiritual debt, their spiritual karma. It goes way deeper than emotions, my love. Way deeper. Wow, didn't know it was this serious. Yes, Katrina. Yes, my love. It's really that deep. So when I'm saying this, are things resurfacing in your mind as to, wow, this is why I was acting like this. This is why I responded like that. This is why I reacted like this. This is why I allowed this. This is why I allowed that. This is why. And some of y'all realize, like, what the hell was I thinking? When you come to, it's like, what the hell was I thinking? But just because you come to awareness doesn't mean that when these things happen, it doesn't mean that you're necessarily in the clear just because you gain awareness. You need to learn how to cleanse sexually transmuted energy up out of you. You have to learn how they learn how to what? Cut a soul tie. It's not just merely speaking or just leaving or ghosting a person. You can't ghost no spiritual soul tie. You can't ghost him or her out of you. You can't ghost the hims or hers out of you simply just by speaking a word. It takes more than that, which is why a lot of us are still low, low, low on our frequency right now. Very low. Thank you so much for the subscribe. For subscribing. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support, my love. I appreciate you, bro. I sincerely appreciate you. Infinite gratitude, right? So you still have to learn this. It's not simply about understanding the information. Now you have to work on cleansing them out of you. It doesn't just happen overnight. Don't think that just because you're not paying attention, just because it is not in your forefrontal of a file, that he or she is not still affecting you, that he's or she's them is not still affecting you. Because one thing is for sure and five things is for certain, they are. If you truly understood how spirituality work, how chemistry work, how biology work, how epigenetics work, right? How energy works. What does the book say? I'm not a Christian, but I do know that book holds a lot of wisdom as well as it holds a lot of lies. The people perish for the lack of knowledge. Isn't that what it says? The people perish for the lack of knowledge. And people remain powerless because they're not applying the knowledge, which can enable them to become powerful. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Right? There's mental thoughts. There's a transfer of mental thoughts. So not only are you dealing with your dysfunctional mental database, not only are you trying to heal from your own mental dysfunctions, not only do you have to deal with your own inner work, your own inner shadow work, guess what? Now you got to deal with his. Now you got to deal with hers. This is why I told y'all in the beginning, you were never created to withstand or endure that amount of immense pressure, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, energetically. You were never created. And this is why a lot of us are self-destructing. You are adding to your destruction. You are literally pouring gasoline on your body every time you make a dumb, stupid, ignorant, unwise decision in your life. You're literally dousing yourself with gasoline. Dousing yourself with gasoline. And guess what? You may not think that there's not a fire about to light your ass up, but baby, it's coming. It's coming. I can guarantee you it's coming. So I'm giving you a righteous warning to wake up. Wake up and pay attention. Pay attention. Get the information you need. Invest in yourself. Get the information you need to understand who you are and understand what you're doing. especially when it comes to your sexual activities. Peace. What's up, Sway? That's my battle buddy. What's good, love? Infinite enlightenment blessings to you too. I miss you. I miss you too, Sway. I hope you are doing absolutely amazing, you and your family, my love. Right? So we have to understand this. Guess what? You don't know when that flame is coming, but it's coming. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And if you keep on playing with fire, if you keep playing with fire, if you keep on keeping on, if you keep on keeping on, keep playing with fire, baby, and you gonna learn one day just how hot it can be. And I'm not talking about no first degree goddamn burn. You're dealing with the transfer of not only fluid transfers, seminal fluid transfers, right? Yummy juices, penis juice. You're dealing with emotional transfers, trauma transfers, DNA transfers, chemical transfers, sickness transfers, addictive transfers, karmic transfers, spiritual debt transfers, generational. Generational. This is why I said earlier on, don't take this out of context when I say this. An STD is at the low bar of what you need to be worried about what you attaching to yourself. Because on a higher level, the higher level, okay, you're dealing with spiritual karma, generational karma, and generational curses, spiritual curses that you ain't had nothing to do with it because you was hot. Because you could not control your sexual urges, your sexual energies, but because you just had to get it, you just had to have it, you just had to get it. And I know what it is because I was there before, baby. I just had to have it, had to have it, especially when it's that good. So when I'm teaching you this, when I'm telling you this, trust you me, I understand. I understand what it is. Thank you so much for the gifts. I understand what it is to want, especially because we just, that's what we were programmed to do. Be sexually active, ignorantly be sexually active. Queen, thank you so much for the gift, right? So I understand when it's good, it's great, baby. I did, baby, let me tell you something. There was just one person on a side, funny note, there was just one person when I tell you the baby, when I tell you he was through the baby, it was Tony the Tiger. Great, baby. Have me shine na na and I don't shine na na. Okay, so I know the struggles. No, all my young life I had to fight them sexual urge. I know what it is, but let me tell you something. The more you on the serious side, the more you experience and the more you practice sexual discipline, the more you understand how it's affecting you. Baby, when I tell you it becomes so easy for you to be like, nah, I'm good. And you don't experience convulsions. One of the techniques and ways I've learned how to harness my sexual and sensual power and not giving my power haphazardly, I learned how to, on my own, sexually transmute my energy. And I'll be just fine. Sometimes I experience self pleasure, sometimes I don't. But guess what? I'm not losing my goddamn mind. I'm not over here slapping my veins talking about when I'm going to get that next hit. Okay, when I'm going to get that next hit, I'm not losing my mind. I'm not robbing my mama. I'm not robbing my daddy. I'm not lying to myself. I'm not stealing from nobody because I'm acting like a D head or a cat head. Gotta have the cat. Gotta have the D. Right? Once you understand and you start to put in practice, once you understand the consequences, once you understand all of the work that you already have to do to clear these generational hits that you done took on, to clear the bad, once you understand once you understand how much cleaning you actually have to do in your own house, baby, you'll stop allowing other people to come make a mess of it. Don't come over here. Don't come over here. If you're still cleaning, return to sender. If you're still cleaning your mental, if you're still cleaning your spiritual, if you're still cleaning your energy, if you're still cleaning, return to sender, baby. Don't play with your life. Return they ass to sender. You can be nice if you want to and give an explanation, but most times you don't have to. Return they ass to sender, because this is not the time or the place and the space to be dealing with, right? Dealing with foolishness. This is not the time or the place and the space. We're not living in a time in a realm where you need to be playing with your whole entire life, baby. We're not in that space. It's time to get it together. We're not in that space. Return they ass to sender. But don't just return them to sender just to sit on your ass and just look at all the pile of crap you got around you. Clean up. Clean up. Clean up, my loves. Clean up. You don't have to clean up all in one day either. Just clean one room at a time. But start to clean up. Start to get rid of that karmic debt. Start to get rid of the stuff that you don't, that wasn't even yours to begin with, that you picked up. How foolish is it? I mean, think about it. How foolish is it for you to exchange one night of pleasure for poison? If I was to hand you poison and say, okay, if you want this one night of pleasure, I'm gonna need you to take this poison. If you want this $1 million, I'm going to know that you're going to be unalive tomorrow and not enjoy it. And let me tell you how foolish and sick some of us are. Some of us will actually be like, you know what? I want that meal. Did y'all see the interview with Cat Williams and Shay? I think that's his name, Shay. Did y'all see the part where Cat Williams was schooling him and saying, this is the play, this is the game? If you want to rise to this level, guess what? You're going to have a big face, pale woman by your side. And did y'all see that part? What was Shay's response in that? What was his response in that? Oh, I'm going to have to take me one of those. I'm going to have to get me one of those for $1. $1, $1 million. He laughed, old school, so he laughed. Many of us, and you don't even know, you're choosing to continually be somebody itch. No homo, though. You're choosing to be somebody slave. No enslavement, though. I'll give me free. We Amistad now. But you willingly selling your soul. You willingly sacrificing your righteousness. You willingly giving up your free will. You're willingly doing it. Oh, give me the poison. I'll eat it. It can't be that bad. I mean, shit. It's going to take at least, what, a year to get to me? I'm going to enjoy the ride. Foolish. Absolutely foolish. What good is it if you gain the whole world and lose your very soul? What good is it? This is why many of the people that are up there, I'm talking about financially just up there, they are miserable as F. Miserable AF. Lonely as AF. Depressed as AF. Psychotic as AF. There is no amount of high that can get them higher. After all the paying for you to skydive, jump out of planes, jump off of damn bridges, and do all of these things and buy everything in the whole entire world, especially if you had to sacrifice your righteousness, if you had to sacrifice your soul, if you had to sacrifice the souls of your loved ones, was it worth it? Is it worth it? for some likes. I mean, don't get it twisted. 200 mil sounds like a lot of money. But when do you get to a point to say, you know what? That shit ain't worth it. That shit ain't worth it. I don't know about you, but that will eat me up alive inside. It will eat me up alive inside. There is no peaceful rest. Any one of those celebrities, those entertainers, actors, actresses, any one of them, known and unknown, that have ever signed that contract. And those of you who know what contract I'm talking about, y'all know any of them who've ever signed that contract, baby, they are miserable. Miserable. Because ain't no way you can sleep peacefully. Oh, I just got a flag. What did I say? My goodness. So, you know what? TikTok. If they cut me off, for whatever reason, y'all just jump on, come over here to TikTok land, TikTok world. My TikTok world, I'm tripping. Come over there to YouTube land. Okay. My YT is inside the link in my bio. It'll lead you straight to my page. And my page is called All Things Self-Mastery. All Things Self-Mastery. So if that happens, just jump over there. Right? Like it's not worth it. You literally are bonding your soul, spirits, energies with your chosen partner, whether he or she is your chosen partner for life or temporarily. You're literally choosing to bond and exchange these energies and take on whatever they have going on. And we out here don't even know what they got going on because you're not taking the time to understand, because you think shit's sweet all the time. You're not taking the time to use your discernment to get to know, to really get to know, to not only hear what they're saying, but seeing if their behaviors align with what they're saying. Not only that, but taking the time to use your intuition to see if both of those line up or if they're just seemingly lining up. Energy will never lie, even though it can be manipulated. Energy will never lie. The higher you are tapped into your God and goddess frequency, the more you are able to easily discern the authenticity of another person's intent and actions, unless you're going to continually just not give a damn about your life. But if that's the case, I'm not talking to you, right? You are literally bonding your souls, your spirits, your energies with the people who you engage sexually with, sensually with. You are literally creating ties with these people, literally. And some of y'all are even in marriages that you were never supposed to be in. Some of y'all are tied to men and women who you were never supposed to be tied to for season after season, season after season, right? The goal is and should be to protect your energy, your aura, your auric field, and to keep it as pure as possible, right? This should be the goal. This should be the goal. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? Stop playing with your lives, my loves. Stop playing with your lives. Oh, this, I didn't even, and so y'all have to understand this. There's more than just fluids that are being exchanged, more than just STDs that can be exchanged. It goes so much deeper than that. So stop playing with your lives, right? So as said, I'm going to give a couple of tips that you can do to protect your energy. Number one, I call it the 7 principles of self-mastery. This is what I teach, especially to especially to my women. For those of you, the pause for announcement, Rise of a Goddess Virtual Academy is resuming 3/3/2004. New Year's is resuming around New Year's, right? The New Year's month, right? And so if you're interested, just hit me up on the DMs, in my DM, and I'll respond, right? So these are the 7 principles that I actually teach in self mastery. 7 principles of self mastery. One, be aware, be more aware, and be intentional about your awareness. Stop willingly running around here like you a blind mice, because you're not. Acknowledge where you are. Acknowledge why you are where you are. Acknowledge that. Be honest with yourself, because you cannot grow or learn new behavior patterns. You cannot change your life if you're still in denial about your life. Acknowledge the things that you've done, the things that you are doing, so you can change the things that you're going to do, right? Be accountable for those things. Be accountable for your life. Be accountable for your actions. Be accountable for your decisions, because the only person that's going to pay first is you. Okay? Them consequences going to hit real different. Hit real different. Even if you choose, the consequences is going to hit real different after this live. Why? Because now you know. Now you know. And some of us already knew. We just kept choosing not to be in awareness of it, right? Fully accept where you are now. Fully accept it. Fully accept everything about you. Fully accept everything about you. The things that you like, the things that you don't like, fully accept. Because only when you fully accept you, where you are, how you got there, is the only way you can move on. You can't move on with dead weight. You cannot do it. It's unhealthy. I mean, you can, but it's not healthy to do. Let it go. Fully accept it so you can start to let it go. You cannot create without energy to create with. You need available funds to withdraw from the bank. So in order to create the life that you want to live, in order to attract the life that you want to live, you have to accept who you are, where you are, and stop and learn to let go. Learn to let that shit go. Let go the hate, let go the contempt, let go the resentment, let go of this bitterness, let go of the warring with your brother and sister, let go of pointing the damn finger. What happened, happened. What do you want to happen now? What do you want to happen now? Right? Assess the situation. And I understand a lot of y'all won't be able to do it alone. Not that you can't, it's because you wasn't purposed to do it alone. Just like a doctor invests in school to become an actual doctor, the same way you have to invest in your self-development to learn self-mastery. So whether it's me you choose to work with one-on-one, or whether it's someone else that you can relate to, work with someone. This is why we're here. We were never purposed to do life alone. Each of us have profound, intricate, personalized gifts that each of us need to navigate in, through, and out of this journey. Say that last one again. I'm not sure, like, we wasn't purposed to do it alone. Is that what you mean, Cocoa? We wasn't purposed to do it alone. Anyone who's ever thrived, who is thriving or thrived in any profession, invested in their self-education. We're pay attention to the times and the seasons, my love. You're welcome. You have to acquire information to change your behavior patterns. You have to. You cannot change when you're still operating on a faulty mental database. You have to learn about what your subconscious, your conscious, subconscious, and unconscious mind is. Because it's in your within your subconscious, your unconscious mind is what's dictating your behaviors. You cannot learn a new thing or introduce a new thing if you're still repeating the old things. It's not as simple as speaking affirmations. Stop letting these people finesse you with stupidity. It's not just about affirmations. It's not just about you thinking that you want to be rich. You can. Understand that there's a primary thing that's repelling the very thing or person you want in your life. And until you start to invest in yourself, you're not going to learn it, which means, guess what? You're not going to attract it. So if you want to keep living backwards, be my guest. Be my guest. Be my guest. Be my guest. Don't put your magic to the test. Okay? Keep doing that. Okay? You have to acquire your new information. I don't force, I flow. I ain't gonna violate your, I ain't forcing you to do nothing. I ain't forcing you to be great. I ain't chasing you to be great, to be phenomenal. Okay? You can choose to tap back into your God and Goddess power or not. Okay? I hope you do. But if you don't, so be it. I'm here for those who are deciding, moving into this new beautiful sun cycle, to invest in you, right? Invest in you. For those of you who don't know, I am also a best-selling self-published author, right? One of my books was bestseller on Amazon for about 2 months or so. That's a big deal. I'm not going to get into that, but yeah, I'm still very proud of that. I say that to say I have an ebook in a PDF form that's available, attracting what and who you desire. A lot, not this, a lot of things that is going to help you navigate to put you into energetic alignment, because it's all about energetic alignment to attract what and who you want. Okay. This is just the prerequisite. What I'm teaching you are prerequisites, but there's more information and there's more that you actually have to apply. It is, if you're asking or wanted to know where you can start, that last book that I just created, well, I ain't just create, it's a great way to start. It is a short read. It's about 137 pages, which is equivalent to the number 11. I'm big into the power of numbers, numerology. It is also the language of the universe. Those who know, right? And all of the pages doesn't have written words. There are exercises in there. There are 11 profound chapters teaching and reminding you and about your awareness, your identity, your decision making, the law of attraction. I teach about the law of assumption. I teach about energy and give you practical steps with the form of exercises that you can implement in your life right now to change the trajectory of your life, especially as we're moving into this beautiful new sun cycle of eight, the number of infinity. Well, the symbol of infinity. This is a profound time. I don't have physical copies yet. I only have have it in a PDF version right now. I'm thinking about putting it into actual book. I have to relearn how to actually upload it to KDP. There's a whole system. I have the ebook and I'm learning so much. Queen 44, thank you so much, my love. Thank you. I appreciate you. A lot of people, Peace Rashad, how are you, my love? A lot of individuals, I've gotten good feedback from the book. It really has invaluable information in it. If you're interested, click the link in my bio. It will lead you to, I think it's the second tab, Attracting What and Who You Desire ebook, PDF. Invest in yourself. The book is only, I think it's $21.99. The ebook is only $21.99. But it is a small investment that can literally change your entire life. If you read it, understand it, and start applying it. You don't have to run a race with it. Self-mastery is not about running a race. It's about acquiring the information, and then applying the information, right? Knowledge is power, but it only comes powerful when you absolutely apply it. right? And so we have to understand that. And I'll actually the master class each month. I also do an exclusive master class. We're going to be covering attracting what and who you desire. I think is the end of this month, if I'm not mistaken, on the 27th, the last Saturday of each month. I do an exclusive master class. Normally, the master classes are $30. Well, anywhere from 24 to $30. So this year, this beautiful year, moving into the sun cycle, what I decided to do, because we are in the infinite life cycle of 8, I decided to make all this year's master classes that I do exclusively. This is a free master class that I'm doing, and I also do these, but the exclusive ones, I decided to make them all $17, which is equivalent to the master number 8 all year 2024. So each month I'll be hosting a new exclusive masterclass that is not going to be uploaded right away to any other platform. So you'll have access for that. If you're following me and if you are a part of our Moss family text thread, you'll get the information and a notification. But I actually encourage you to invest in that. It's a really good piece of information. It's 15 plus years of like condensed like knowledge when it comes to giving you in like a synopsis of what is required for you to attract what and who you desire, the core of it, not just this 3-minute microwave shit that there's a lot of us out here pushing just to get your bag. If you're going to learn anything about me, you will also know that I am not after your bag, honey. I'm not after one. Just my goal is not to be a millionaire. Some of us goals is not to, that's not my desire. Now it hasn't been my desire. I'm not sure if it ever will be my desire. Know that my true heart and my passion is to help, to educate, and to guide. Right? It is not. Finances is a part of it, but that's not my catalyst to the reasons. It is not. Because what I charge ain't 3 times near the amount that what some of your well-known people that you like are charging thousands of dollars to give you the same proven scientific information that I'm giving it, but I'm delivering it how Venus delivers it. You understand what I'm saying? What I teach is not hogwash. What I teach, if you do the research on your own, you will understand what I teach. These are indisputable facts, not opinions, right? I mean, my little interjections and the fun part about it and how I deliver it, right? I put a little spin on it, but they are actually facts. And there are people out here literally charging thousands of dollars to give you the same information and just leave your ass hanging. I am willing to walk with you through the process because I get more enjoyment out of doing this, right? Like one-on-one, my one-on-one mentoring, I enjoy that too. But I like the engagement part of what I do so much better, right? And so this part right here is so now we're going to have the Q&A. If you have any questions, you feel free to ask now. Like now I can actually pay attention to you all. But before we get to the Q&A section, I am going to close out the live stream on my YT page. So for all of those who have stuck with me, who have joined with me for this presentation, infinite gratitude. Thank you so much for your support, for your love. I hope that you have enjoyed this masterclass, Understanding Your Sensuality and Sexuality. If you do, make sure you hit that subscribe button here on YouTube land and become a part of our Moss family, which is Masters of Self. MOS stands for Masters of Self. Make sure you like, share, comment. Okay, don't be stingy, don't be selfish. Let a pimp know, let a trick know, let your mama, your daddy, your cousin, let everybody know, right? Because this year we're doing things really, really different. Okay, Mwah. Infinite gratitude. Okay.